Hi, today we're going to talk about the lumbosacral plexus, and we're going to begin with the roots, starting with T12, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, and coccygeal 1. And the lumbosacral plexus is made up of three plexuses. L1 to L4 is the lumbar plexus. L4 to S4 is the sacral plexus. And S4, S5, and coccygeal 1 make up the coccygeal plexus, which will innervate the skin. And we are going to have roots and then divisions. And to make things easy, the anterior portions are going to be in orange so you can see it all clearly. And starting up here in the lumbar plexus, we're going to have the subcostal nerve, which will innervate the skin. Then we will have the ilio-hypogastric and the ilio-inguinal. And both of those will innervate the internal obliques, as well as the transverse abdominal muscles. And then underneath that, we will have the genitofemoral, which will innervate the cremaster muscles. And then coming off of L2, we're going to have the lateral femoral cutaneous, which will have innervations from L2 through L3. And then beneath it, we will have the femoral nerve, which will have innervations from L2 to L4, as depicted. And the lateral femoral cutaneous is going to innervate the skin. And then the femoral nerve is going to innervate the iliacus, the sartorius, the pectineus, the rectus femoris, the quad muscles, and the vastus muscles, being the medial, the lateral, and then the intermediate. And that should be it. And then after that, coming off of L2, L3, and L4, we're going to have the obturator, which will innervate the adductors, the pectineus, and the gracilis. And coming off of L3 and L4, we're going to have the accessory obturator, which will innervate the pectineus. And that's a fun nerve because not everyone has it. And then moving downward, we are going to have the superior gluteal nerve, the inferior gluteal nerve, and the superior gluteal nerve will have innervations from L4 to S1. The inferior gluteal nerve is going to have innervations from L5 to S2. And then we're going to have the posterior femoral cutaneous, and it will be receiving innervations from S1 to S3. And the superior gluteal nerve is going to innervate the glute medius as well as glute minimus. And the inferior gluteal nerve is going to innervate the glute max. And then the posterior femoral cutaneous is going to innervate the skin. And then between S1 and S2, there will be a nerve going to the piriformis. And then from L4, L5, and S1, we are going to have the nerve that will go to the obturator, internus, as well as the gemellus superior, and then fibers coming from L5, S2, and S1 we are going to have the nerve going to the quadratus femoris, as well as the gemellus inferior. And then we will have, coming off of S2, S3, and S4, we are going to have the pudendal nerve, which will innervate the external anal and urethral sphincters, which I'm very thankful for. And then, last but not least, we are going to have the entire sciatic nerve, which will begin from L4 and end in S3. The tibial portion will receive innervations from L4, L5, S1, S2, and S3. And then, because it's so large, it will also have a fibular portion, which will receive innervations from L4, L5, S1, and S2. And I'm just going to put it over here. And the tibial portion is going to innervate 10 muscles. It will innervate the popliteus, the plantaris, the long head of the biceps femoris, the tibialis posterior, the flexor digitorum longus, the flexor hallucis longus, the semimembranosus, as well as the semitendinosus, as well as the gastrocnemius and the soleus. 10. And then the fibular portion is going to have a deep aspect and then a superficial aspect. The deep portion will innervate 7 muscles. It will innervate the extensor digitorum longus, the extensor digitorum brevis, the extensor hallucis longus, the extensor hallucis brevis, the tibialis anterior, and the short head of the biceps femoris, and the fibularis tertius. And then the superior will only innervate 2 portions, being the fibularis longus and the fibularis brevis. And that is all. Thank you.